Jesse's here from Nebrasky Plumbing and Heating. Good morning.
Good morning.
So lots of fun stuff. Are we doing a contest today too?
Yes, we are giving away a $50 gift card to Yesterday's.
Okay.
So I guess we'll start with that.
All right.
In honor of the eclipse that just happened.
You'll appreciate this. So somebody sent me a little thing yesterday. Said total eclipse of a cat. And you look at the cat, did you see it?
I did see this, yes.
There's a tabby cat, and all of a sudden a black cat walks in front of it.
I did not see that.
It was hysterical.
So
Sorry.
You're more than fine. The trivia question to give away this gift card is: what space shuttle is celebrating its 54-year anniversary of its launch today?
Okay.
How many years?
54.
1970.
I guess it was the first one that went up. No?
1970. They even have the space shuttle? Space shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Okay.
was there a space shuttle in 1970?
Obviously, there
I
wasn't.
don't think there was. We had just been on the
Jesse,
moon.
stop lying.
We had just been on the moon the year
Man,
before.
I would hope that Google wouldn't steer me this wrong.
No, I didn't even realize that.
Well, there was the bad one that didn't
Well,
work
yeah.
out, and I don't. Yes,
Yeah, let's not talk about
no,
that.
But that was like in the 90s, though.
Yeah,
All right,
that
kid.
was.
All right.
Yeah.
845-651-1110. Anyone who has the correct answer, the first person. Remember, you can only win once every 30 days, and that includes the 2-second song contest. So these are for new people that haven't won in the last 30 days. If you have the answer, you get a $50 gift certificate to Yesterday's. So there you go. All right. 845-651-1110. Repeat the question again.
What space shuttle is celebrating its 54-year anniversary of launch today? And then I do have a question for you guys here.
Okay, go ahead.
Why are plumbers so tired after a long day?
Well, look at the work they do. From pulling up the back of their pants.
Paul, any guesses?
Why they're so tired?
Why are plumbers so tired after a long day?
It's got to be a pun on words.
Yeah, I don't know. Go.
Because their work is draining.
Okay.
Because what?
Their work is draining.
Oh, God. This is a dad joke. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
When you say
This is me saying dad. Really?
I'm trying to think of the plumber and why they're
All
tired.
right, we have somebody on the line. You have an answer for us. What's your first name and where are you calling from?
Clint from Warwick. Was it Challenger?
It was not.
Not the Challenger, but thank you very much anyway for participating. So again, line 2, here we go. All right, what is your answer to the shuttle from 1970? Hello? What's your first name?
Hello?
What's your first name?
Yes.
What's your first name?
My name is Kenny.
And where are you calling from, Kenny?
I'm calling from Brewster, New York.
All right. So, all right, Kenny from Brewster, what's your answer for that shuttle?
I think it's called the Enterprise. They named it after Star Trek.
Okay. Yeah, nope, that's not it either, but thanks for trying. Keep listening.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. We have a couple of people on texting that have the right answer.
That says it's not the right answer.
Well,
this one says it's the right answer.
No, Jesse said that is the right answer. Yeah, that's it, right there.
No,
there.
That's a completely different
Not
number.
the bottom one, the top one.
That's so fun. I love.
The top one is correct.
See, Google might have steered me wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that one is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I
Are you guys in
20/20
space today
vision
or what?
now.
I'm
I
dealing
have
with Sarah, who's
glasses
from
on and I
Mars.
can't see it.
That's all right.
You know what I was thinking about with the plumber being tired? Remember Dan Aykroyd?
Oh, of
When
course.
he pulled the pencil out from the... Oh, it was classic.
It was a classic. You can't go wrong with the plumbers. By the way, it's 13 minutes after 8 o'clock. 52 degrees on the outside. A little drizzle and light rain out there now. Some more rain
That's what
obviously
mine
coming our
says.
way today.
Yeah, we have a conflict.
You
of
have a
which-
conundrum, right?
Yeah,
all right.
which number it is.
Pick either number. It's a difference.
What do you mean the number? What would there
Paul's
be?
money anyway.
Why would there be a difference in
Good
what
morning,
the...
Peggy. We're giving away a $50 gift certificate to Yesterday's. So while you're on here, so the question again is, what is the name of the mission flight 54 years ago in 1970 that went up? We do have the phones ringing here, so hopefully somebody will get the right answer. We know what it is. I did not
going in a
remember
different way.
which one it was. All right, no?
Yes, you're right. Go
Okay.
right to that.
Okay.
That's the problem. That's the problem with the internet. It steers you in many directions.
All right, here we go. Phones are ringing like crazy, but Frank knows the answer, so he's saying no to people who are calling that are wrong. All right, we still don't have a winner. So, there we go. This is a
Oh, wait.
hot topic.
I know.
I forgot you're on the other side of the glass.
No, that would be a mirror, Paul.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go. All right, do we have somebody on that wants to make a guess, Frank? Let's not conversation here. The phones are just nonstop. All right, what's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Middletown, Jimmy.
All right, Jimmy, what's your answer?
Apollo 11.
That's it, right?
No,
No?
no.
Are you sure?
Yes,
It's
we're
not.
sure. We
It's-
just confirmed it.
Oh, I thought it
Well, he
was
just
Apollo
confirmed it.
11 too. All right. Well, sorry, Jimmy. Next.
Okay, thank you anyway.
Okay.
So you're looking not for the space flight, but for the shuttle, or what? What was the,
The
actual?
shuttle.
The shuttle, which is
Right.
different than the actual. It's
Exactly.
not an Apollo. It's not a Gemini. It's not any of that stuff.
Okay.
It's the shuttle.
All right. So let's. let's go.
Ryan went to NASA. We got it. We
Yeah,
got the number.
There's where you go.
Yep.
Go to the source. I went to Sirigliano for the earthquake. You go to NASA for the answer.
Yes.
If anybody would know, I figured they would.
Yes, they should. We would think. All right, Houston,
All right.
we have a problem.
Okay, here we go. What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Richie from Franklin Lakes.
Okay, Franklin Lake's in the house. All right. What's your answer?
Endeavor.
No, that's not it. But thanks for calling.
Okay.
All right, bye. All right, here we go. Next person. Here we go. We're going to get this. This is crazy. All right, what's your first name? Where are you calling from? Hello?
My name is Kenny. Yep, hi, Kenny. I'm calling from Brewster.
All right,
Sorry, you confused me at first because I thought you asked about the space shuttle first flight.
Okay,
it's
no,
Apollo 13.
That
There
is
we
it.
go.
Yay.
It's like giving
Finally.
birth. I think.
Yeah, you'll never know. This is why men don't give birth. We'd have zero population growth. Kidding me? Oh, my
Oh,
God.
thank you, Kenny. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the diciest
the
trivia
phone-
I've
no
done yet.
problem, man. I'm going to watch the movie tonight in honor of your question.
Oh, okay, good. That was a great movie, actually. Somebody typed in Columbia. Nope, not the Columbia.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Those
Kenny,
were the days. Yeah,
you're gonna have to eat in Orange County. Let me just mention that.
Well, he's going to have a good time.
no problem.
All right, great.
Spend
Well,
the day.
hold on. I'm going to tell you how to get your prize. So stay with us. Thank you for listening.
All right.
All right,
All
hold.
right. I'll keep listening. Thank
right,
you, and I'll
good.
stay on the phone.
All right, hold on.
You guys are the best.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
thanks for listening.
Thank you.
All righty, we'll do that, I guess. Go ahead, Taylor, do it. Go ahead, take care of that. It is number 2. You got it, sister. 16 minutes after 8 o'clock right now. And once again, expect some rain throughout the daytime today. And it looks like we're going to have a little clearing, maybe not clearing, but maybe no rain like around lunchtime. We'll see where that all goes. But then rain will return again for tonight and tomorrow, and possibility a little bit on Saturday, too, as we get ready for the weekend. April showers coming our way. So make sure you keep the umbrellas handy. You never know what we're going to get the next couple of days. But it feels good. About 52 degrees out there. Much better than the 30s that we had just a short couple of days ago. So keep it here with us. And by the way, we are talking with the groups from Paul, Nebrasky Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And we've got some great advice for everybody out there. So let's continue with that.
All right, here we go. That was fun.
Now that we're back on the ground.
That was a great question. Look
Wow.
how crazy everybody
Yeah,
got.
phone's lit up.
Lost in
We got to
space.
do that every month here.
Well, now that we're back on the ground, I did want to talk a little bit about something that happened
On the ground.
On the ground, we had an earthquake.
Yeah, in case
Not
anyone
sure if
didn't know.
anybody noticed.
You know, it's funny when it happened because former Senator Mike Martucci was here and our favorite Assemblyman Carl Brabenec, and we just stepped off the air, and it happened. And I thought here it did feel like one of those supersonic jets, and we all ran outside to look up. And then Martucci's wife called and said, "Did you feel that?" And then we're like, "Oh, it wasn't that. It was an earthquake." I mean, New York, we're used to snowstorms. Leave us alone with the earthquakes. That's California. Holy mackerel. So what was going on with plumbing during that?
So we got a lot of phone calls actually at people asking like, what do I do with my heating? What do I do with my AC? Like, are things going to break? Like, we had a lot of people who wanted to call and ask like, should I shut down my furnace?
Should I run to the store and buy all the water and toilet paper?
Yes.
And milk.
So I kind of wanted to do a little bit of PSA about, while it's probably rare that it's going to happen here again, it's happened twice in my lifetime. So
Oh, when was the last time?
I was in high school the last time it happened.
And
when
what
I
year
living
was
in
that?
Monroe.
I sadly ask.
I don't know exactly, but it had to be around 2010.
She was in high school in 2000.
Just a
Yeah.
Yep. Well, but it does rattle the ground. It does move
I
things.
don't remember that.
Did they have any damage? Do you know? Did anybody have any, like,
How
even
about the
close to
rock?
the epicenter or anything? Did anybody have any, like, underground pipe damage or gas line damage or anything like
There
that?
was definitely a little bit of pipe damage because we had 2 phone calls where we had to run out and go take care of pipes.
Oh,
But,
okay. So it moved that much.
yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like any major damage, but it was
Right.
enough that like somebody had a leak in
Well,
the
they
pipes.
also had a one of the water mains down in Randolph, New Jersey, broke because
did?
of that. Yeah,
It was probably 200 years old.
yeah,
anyway,
probably.
But Steve made fun of me. But when I went out in the afternoon to go on 94, there were cracks across the road that were never there before. And he's like, "You don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, "Listen, I travel that road every day."
State road? Because now it'll take another 5 years before they come out and
5.
fix it.
You'll be lucky if it's 5. We're still trying to get that little light at Shadow Hathorn there to put a little thing to go around cars that are making lefts. Frank's like, he told Mike Sweeten when he was the supervisor, "I'll go and do it for you. It'll take me an
That's
hour."
all planned and ready to go, though.
All
Taylor,
right,
so-
turn lane?
No, it's
A
going to
left
be a
turn.
circle. They're putting a circle in there.
Yeah.
By
traffic,
Ox?
Traffic circle, yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so stupidly, and let's spend more money instead of just doing a little wide part on the right so cars can get by. Let's create havoc.
I think because it's not just that. People coming out of Ox, especially during apple season, that's a tough go.
Once a year for a week. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
I'm sorry.
it's for 6 weeks, but that's a tough go.
I don't know.
Come out of Ox.
Let's
Who's got
look-
the right of way?
Let's look at the difference in the price.
You get to a
And-
four-way
hold
stop
on.
sign, everybody
Hold
looks at
on,
each other like
Paul.
they're morons.
Hold
You
on.
guys could argue about traffic after I leave.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to talk about earthquakes. Do you guys know what the biggest concern is that a plumber would have after an earthquake?
Oh, there's a lot of concerns.
But what do you think the biggest one is?
I would think pipes.
Yeah, pipe shifting.
Yeah, gas line.
Oh,
Yeah.
So when things shift, your gas line can get disconnected. It can crack. And the number one thing that you want to do is actually call 911, open the door, get out of the house.
yeah,
That's the first thing you want to do. Every
absolutely.
time.
There's a gas line here, by the way, Frank. You know, right?
Well, I know. But that wasn't an earthquake that would have here.
I didn't feel.
I wasn't worried about that. I wouldn't even feel it.
As the song goes, I didn't feel the earth move. So
Great song, by the way, the other day. Good choice.
Yeah, if you can, call your utility company and try to get somebody out. If you do have a gas line, you're either going to see it very clearly or you're going to smell it pretty quickly. And if you can, and if it's at night and you've lost power, something like that, use a flashlight. Don't use candles.
Light a candle and watch it go.
Yeah, that's a quick way to lose your
that
house.
is true. I mean, really.
Are there turnoffs in the house for your gas?
Yeah, most houses do have an emergency shutoff.
Where's that?
Usually by the meter,
Yes,
correct?
it's usually by the meter.
Outside.
So that would be by the propane
I don't want to
tank?
give any false advice.
Yeah,
Well,
you
here,
would shut the propane tank
natural
off, yeah.
gas by us, some have it, some. Do you have natural gas or propane?
Propane.
Yeah, we do too. It's propane. So
Yeah, so you just go out and turn the knob on
right,
the propane can.
right.
You know, you imagine in a major earthquake the problems they have with this stuff
Right, but
because
like-
everything
Can't even.
disconnects.
Like you have a pipeline coming through. And it's a pretty major pipeline that comes through here.
Oh yeah, Frank
So,
knows where they all
I mean-
are.
I didn't want to buy a house near or on that pipeline, that's for sure.
I have to
don't
tell
blame
you,
you.
all the times that we were looking for a house, Frank knows where everything is in this county. He's like, no, can't go there. There's that gas
The
line there."
Millennium Pipeline is a
Yeah.
big underground, massive thing where gas rushes through there at an amazing speed. If something ever happened with that, and that blew,
It was
would leave a
that and the
crater.
high-
I don't want to live anywhere near there. You
It
know,
was that
Ta-
and the high tension.
yeah, but Taylor would say like, oh,
wires.
"There's not going to be any problems with that." When has that ever happened before?
It only
I
needs
take
to
it
happen
back.
once.
That's all
It
you
only
need.
takes once. That's it.
It only takes a minute, girl.
Another good one.
Well, next to gas line cracking, we do have plumbing and water lines that typically go. If you have something like that, again, try to find where your emergency shutoff switch is. If you can do that on a day where it's not an emergency,
I
just
was
kind of
just
walk
gonna
around
say.
your house and find out where all of your valves are.
And also make a note of it because you forget if you never use it. Just make a note, put it by whatever you would know to go to look at, and put, line here, shut off switch there, and that way you have it. And for emergencies.
And you should always get your main line in checked. There's a cutoff in your house usually to shut the water off.
Right.
I know mine didn't work because it was 40 years old.
Oh, my.
And it could shut the water down, but it wouldn't shut it completely down. So I had to have that replaced. The town has to come out, turn off the water to your home. You get a new valve. The new valves today, by the way, last like forever. Those,
yeah.
The old ones where you had the knob and you had to turn
Yeah.
it. Those are the ones that had problems down the road. So if you haven't done that, it might be interesting to test it out one day just to see if it still works.
That's true.
What about septic tanks? Do they shift?
We've seen, or I personally haven't seen it. I know Paul have seen it once or twice. But we, again, on an earthquake that the size that we just had, it's not very significant.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If you do have something go wrong with your sewage or your septic line, you're going to smell it pretty quickly.
Right.
If you don't smell it, then you'll actually see it because your sink and your shower drains will start to back up
Oh, yeah.
because it won't just be your toilets, it'll be everything in the
Right.
entire house.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. The one thing, if you are concerned, you can always have an HVAC or a plumber tech come out to test, or even your utility company will sometimes come out and they'll test for gas. If it's something like you're not smelling it consistently, or you're
And gas is odorless usually.
yeah.
Well, no, it's got that stuff in it to give it a smell. But does my smoke detector with the carbon monoxide pick up that gas?
The carbon monoxide detector should in some cases.
Right, because it's a difference. It's not carbon monoxide. It's propane or it's gas.
You guys got any other ideas of what might shift during earthquakes?
How about the toilet seal on the bottom of the toilet?
Not very often. Toilets usually
It would
have
have
enough
to be a
weight
big earthquake for that
Yeah.
to happen.
Any
my
guesses?
God. No, I really can't think of anything. Go ahead.
So you know how in some homes, when you have to be up to code, some boilers and furnaces are up on concrete
yes.
blocks?
Yeah, in case of water or something. Mhm.
So very often we'll see those blocks
Oh,
shift.
didn't think of that.
So
We
you
don't
d-
have that problem, thank goodness. But yeah, I've seen that in many homes.
Yeah, because they're
Especially-
not cemented down. They're just
So
placed
my
under the
my
unit.
thing was when we were looking for a home last year, I said to the realtor, I said, "Do not show me anything that has a sump pump in the basement. I'm not interested." That's
Definitely
a
good
clue.
call. Definitely a good call. It's the same thing with water heaters and water softeners. If they're up on a platform,
Right.
those also can shift. In California, actually, it's to code that you have to have your water heater and softener strapped and arced to the wall.
That's how bad
Well,
the
that makes
earthquakes
sense
are
in
there.
California.
Well,
yeah.
they have everything. They have,
Fire,
You know,
mudslides.
yeah, I mean, and they
earthquake.
build- they
You think
have,
God wants California to go away.
it's interesting that in construction out in California, they have those shear walls that are in the homes. So you have to have certain walls have to be framed differently so that the house won't fall down during an earthquake. So that's people want to, well, let's take that wall down. Is it a load bearing wall? Oh, it's worse because that's the wall that they built that, really supports the house based upon earthquake. And you can't really do much with them. So that's another major problem.
All right, what else do we have on that list?
Your basic outdoor damage. So if any branches have dropped either on like your AC outside, your heat pumps outside,
That's the first thing I did when we moved in because it was the beginning of July. I went with a pruner and because there was a bush right next to the AC unit and cut that all back.
good.
Yeah, because I've learned those things can really cause a problem.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're
And the same thing
right.
with, like I said, branches and trees.
Right.
I just, as much as I love trees, I hate them. I don't want them on my property. Get them on the edge of the property. I don't want trees to fall on my house.
I know.
or branches to come off.
People like it because aesthetically it's pretty. And
It is
also
pretty, but leave
creates
them on the edge
shade.
of the property.
I'm like,
and-
no thanks.
Well, you're pretty safe where you are, right? You don't have a big tree in your house.
I
do you?
have a maple that could come down,
Yeah.
but it's got a pretty good distance. But those are the big. I have a couple big maples. All the ash trees are gone. We don't have any left.
That's true.
The elms got wiped out, so the only thing left you got is oak and really black walnut. So.
It's amazing how a lot of these trees just, are gone.
Yeah,
And
well,
then
there
you gotta
was
take them down.
something in the paper the other day about the emerald ash borer and the ash trees and
Well, have Rob Sherman on.
So what are they
great
gonna do?
guy.
So what are those
He's
things going to do
very-
now? Die
he's
because there's
very-
nothing to eat anymore.
I know, right?
He's very educated about trees. He was the shade tree commissioner. I heard they replaced him with somebody who had nothing to do with shade trees. He has a degree in horticulture, so kind of a shock to everybody.
Right.
But again, inside because she's married to somebody on the board.
That
Taylor.
happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Well, it's true. I'm not making up stuff.
Bush made the head of FEMA some guy who used to put together horse shows.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can see how the two coincide.
Yeah,
Come on.
not.
There you go.
Yep. We need to know a guy.
Yeah, this guy
you gotta
does
introduce
everything.
me to a guy. I need to know a guy. I
And
need
by
one
the
of
way,
them.
Rob Sherman is an incredible landscaper.
Yes, he is.
Also, and
That
does
he is.
many
And a
things.
local family that's been around
Yes,
forever.
forever.
So
The Sherman
knows the
Farm
area.
on Little
Yep.
York Road. Yeah, yeah, that's his mom and dad.
That's really cool stuff.
And so Peggy texted to thank you for using yesterday's.
Oh, of course.
You're very welcomed.
Well, they'll have a great meal. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Anything else on the agenda?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
while you're looking outside and making sure no trees and branches and all that fun jazz fell on your AC, definitely make sure that your refrigerant lines aren't leaking, that nothing is disconnected.
So
there.
where are the refrigerant lines?
So there's some pretty obvious tubes that are coming out of your condenser. If you see any drips and moisture kind of coming from those, other than like if it's obvious that your AC has been running and it's freezing, there's going to be a little bit of dampness on your coolant line. But for the most part, it'll be pretty noticeable if they've disconnected.
Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't have, because normally when you see that, you just think it's condensation. Interesting. All right. Something to look for. Good tips.
And then with the heat pumps that have come out, most of those are propped up on stands. So
Yeah. Watch that.
depending on the strength of the earthquake, those could also shift.
Right.
Yeah, you got to think. And I mean, this earthquake wasn't even enough to rattle anything off of a shelf. We didn't have anything fall off
pretty
or
good.
anything. But it was, I mean, up at least in the area that we are.
Yeah.
Of course, if you were in the epicenter, I would think they would start having some of these problems because that rattled paintings off and everything. That was a little good shock right there. But it's good to be prepared for that. We just don't expect it all the time. And imagine like in a major earthquake, imagine all the stuff we would lose on shelving and things that we don't have.
Don't even think
we
about
don't have
that.
protected.
I got my china in that cabinet.
Oh, that will be.
That would make
the whole
that
thing
would
might
hurt.
the whole thing might go over.
I gotta
Well,
check homeowners insurance, make sure that's on there.
Their aftershocks have been like 2.8, 2.6.
Well,
so I'm sure they feel it closer there. I haven't felt the thing.
Yeah.
Steve Newhouse told me that he texted me in the afternoon and said he felt one around 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's 6 o'clock in the afternoon, Taylor.
4, he said to
Well,
me.
he was
You want to see
wrong.
the text?
Yeah, I would love to see that text.
Yeah, okay.
Show me the text, Taylor.
I'm
Show me
gonna
where he
share.
said 4 o'clock.
Just the
Okay.
facts, ma'am.
Just the facts, because it was 6 o'clock. What else you got for us from Nebrasky Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling?
Obviously, if you're keeping up on your maintenance on your HVAC and plumbing systems, as you replace valves and fittings and stuff like that, kind of keep everything clean and tidy. That stuff will last longer. Stuff can take a little bit more of an impact and some wear and tear. So always keep up on your maintenance as a preventative. And then I have some non-HVAC related tips as far as emergencies go. The big one that I can actually say is have all the phone numbers you need saved.
Oh, good. We had that with your mother. We put inside the cabinet a list of emergency numbers.
Yeah.
Very important to do.
Yeah. And not just family members. Make sure you have an HVAC, somebody with emergency service. Make sure you have a plumber. Make sure you have your utility companies.
That's a smart idea because a lot of us just depend on our phones, right? Well, let me look up that number. But if the power's out or you can't use your phone, it's the service goes down in a real emergency. What are you going to do then? You don't even have the, who knows?
I don't have a landline.
You don't have a landline?
Do not have a
Yeah,
landline.
a lot of people don't anymore. We do, but
I don't have a landline.
The other thing is having an emergency plan, like discussing it with your family. So if, God forbid, anything actually happens, your family and your children know what to do, where to go, how to get out of the house. My husband and I actually discussed when we moved, okay, like earthquake happens, world catches on fire, like where are we meeting, where are we going? Like if we're together, how are we getting out of the house and then where are we going? If we're separated, where are we meeting to...
it's good to know. We think stuff like that can never happen. But then again, look at all the crazy stuff that's happened over the last couple of years that we said could never really happen,
We have fire extinguishers in a few places. And I'm pretty sure that my kids
That's a
know
good
if the
thing to
place is on
keep.
fire, get out. I'm confident they've gotten that down.
I haven't put the fire out first.
Yeah. No, well, it depends on the size of the fire.
Yeah, no, it does.
But I don't have any. I have no fossil fuels in the new house. I have mini splits and radiant heat, and it's all electric. So.
Oh, nice.
And that's the way to go.
It
I'm
is.
always a little nervous about gas lines and things just for things like this. You never know,
Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah, part of that emergency plan, the other thing that I would recommend is what are the priorities? Know who's grabbing what. If something happens in the house, know, okay, my husband's grabbing the dogs, I'm grabbing the paperwork, and we're getting out.
Well, see, I was more with the
that's
cash and the jewelry, but okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
That too.
Gee, what a surprise.
Listen, I got my priorities straight. The dogs can fend for themselves.
Yeah.
They know to run away from the flame.
I left the door open. He probably finds his way out.
He'll find his way out eventually.
Yeah, make sure you have a plan for your pets.
The pet would go. In fact, when I lived in Manhattan for many years, I had a little plaque outside the door saying "dog inside" or "dogs inside," because if there's something happens, they need to break your door down. Let them know your animal's in there. So whether you live in a house or an apartment, always put that there. Classic cleaning. All right, we love that guy. That's Tom Andershak. What a great guy he is.
Yeah, I never noticed. I saw his office the other day. I walked into the bank at Walding
is
Savings.
reporting no significant carpet fibers damaged during the earthquake. Well, that's because you cleaned them. That's why.
That's a relief.
That's great. What a great guy. What great work he does, by the way. Anybody's interested, his cleaning process.
They clean
whether
floors
carpet,
up all time,
whatever
everything.
it is, there's nobody better, business or residential. And great guy, great people to deal with. He and his sister, she's terrific also.
It's
Really
good stuff.
wonderful
Yeah, it's
family.
really good stuff.
Yeah. Anything else on the agenda?
Well, do you guys know what an emergency box is?
That's where I usually keep first aid, my, other information, set of
Flashlights.
keys. Actually, geez, remember flashlights?
But do we really need a flashlight in
Yes.
that
Those
world?
I do have.
You
And
got
I'm
a
going to tell
phone.
you why you need a flashlight, because if the electric goes off, your cell phone's going to go off.
Well, eventually, yeah.
Eventually, yeah. So you can't use
You
it
need
as
a real flashlight if it's going to last for a while.
You never want to use your flash on your phone
Yeah, the
if the electricity
light, yeah.
out, because you're using your cell phone.
And you may need that for an emergency.
Exactly.
Do you not have a flashlight near the bed somewhere?
No.
That I do have.
Do you really?
Yeah, I don't have a landline,
No.
but I have a flashlight.
I don't even think we have
Nobody
a
has
flashlight.
landlines anymore,
No.
except here at the station.
Okay.
And the reason is because when people, and I don't think people realize this, I know they don't. When you have that bundle with the cable and you're on this a phone that's cable related, they have not technology-wise figured out how to fix this. And you can't hear it, but we hear it at the station. When somebody calls in on that line, after a few minutes, their voice starts to treble. So you hear.
But that got better. It's not quite as bad anymore.
No, it is. I just tell people not to be on it.
You know, it's kind of funny. The telephone company that we're with
WVT, we love them.
had asked a lot of folks back in the day to change over to the VoIP stuff, voice over
Right.
internet protocol thing. So they did. And now that they're into the way we are now, those systems don't work anymore. Ours still does because it's the original system, but they have to switch out their systems.
I wonder
because
when they're
they
going to tell us no more. I hope not.
hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. I don't know how many people have landlines anymore. We don't have it at
They're
home.
not. If you don't get them as part of that bundle, like if you don't get the
Yeah.
landline that they give you for free with it, a landline ain't cheap.
No, it isn't. I can tell you because I pay that bill every month.
Yeah, so
It's not cheap.
it's an expense that, especially since when we had the one that they gave us for free, we never used it.
I wouldn't be able to tell you at that time what the phone
Yeah,
number
we never
was.
used it either. Yeah.
Most times around here, when the power goes out and the lines go down,
What's
the
the
tree
point?
takes the lines with them.
Yeah,
Electric,
it doesn't-
phone, they all go.
Yeah.
You
So-
know what though? The cell phone goes too, because unless what's happening with cell phones, which is really something we need to bring up to this. Well, I don't know about our Senate, but what we need to do is actually have a conversation about that, because your cell phone doesn't work in all places when electric goes down or there's a storm that puts us out.
You know, you can be
I remember
protected
I
as
had
much
to
as you can.
I had to drive from the house like a couple of miles to get service.
Oh yeah, well that's why my parents actually have a landline specifically because
That's-
they're literally
but
you
when
pull
the
onto
electric goes
Horseshoe
out,
Lane and
yeah, but when the electric goes out, your landline's gone.
oh yeah, but
Yeah, but it's still
even
better
when
than-
they have electric, they don't have service.
They don't have cell service there. What are you going to do?
Yeah, not over
know.
there. Not on
You can
Horseshoe.
How
get,
about this?
um,
Help!
You can get the ones that work off the satellite though. It's a very expensive charge, but some things do.
Right. Well, we have the booster.
Yeah.
So we
We
have
got the
5
booster,
bars
too.
at the house.
Yeah.
But if the power goes out, what good is it?
We only have one bar, and I'm ready to hit it right now.
Yes, I'm in.
Somebody wrote, use solar landscape lights in emergency. What happens if it's daylight? That's
well, some of them have that. Oh,
mine
If it's
doesn't.
daylight, you don't need a flashlight.
All right.
You can go out and take your
I was
lights in.
making a
That's a good
joke
idea.
here.
That's a great idea.
well, if you are going to do an emergency box, I would definitely recommend having a old school radio,
We have that.
Right?
not just an app on your phone.
Right.
Yeah, that would.
Battery operated radio.
Grab some non-perishable food, and if you're going to grab items in cans, grab a can opener.
That would be
Buy that,
really
yeah.
helpful.
The amount of times we've seen people put
Are we
Canned
preparing
items.
for a power outage or Armageddon? Like, what are you getting ready
both.
for
Well,
exactly?
actually, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
That same
What-
thing you would put together. Like, if you look at old movies, you saw them putting all that stuff down in their basement when they had, these
Fallout
tornadoes.
shelters.
Yeah, but tornadoes also in the Midwest.
But Paul, you're on all electric, yes?
Yes, I am.
All right, so you don't have a gas range stove that'll light with a match, so
Barbecue.
you can't cook or you
Bar-
can't.
Got the barbecue.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
a generator that's 10,000 watts that hooks right up to the house, and I can run everything I want.
I want one of those.
Yep.
You know who did the last one? John Maybe.
Yep, he did.
I wonder if he's
Well,
still around.
maybe
doing
he's
it. I
still
don't know.
around.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh God, you guys got
So
new
anything
jobs.
else
Just
should-
making a joke.
Anything
Please
else you'd
don't.
like to? Anything else we need to know?
No, I think
We
that's
really
good.
covered everything?
We covered a lot.
I know.
So it is Nebrasky Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Check them out if you have any questions about your heating, cooling. And when's a good time for people to, well, I guess you would have already serviced your air conditioning, right? But actually check it out now. This is a great time to do it. Last week when we had the warm temperature, I'm sure a lot of people fired it up just to see if it works, because you never know. Something can go wrong in the wintertime, so make sure you do that. Right, Taylor?
There you go. Yep.
And we definitely recommend getting them serviced before you run them, because
Yeah,
if
but-
they've got, like, if you need to change your filters, stuff like that, why circulate?
Make sure you
that
change your
dust?
filters.
Don't put gas in
We got the
when you're down on empty.
we got the house out there, and I figured as run down as it was, I figured the
It
filter
wasn't
would be
run down.
the filter was not going to be changed. Sure enough, that thing was like covered in soot, right? I mean, it was and he had it in backwards.
Oh my!
So double whammy.
I mean, I think it's like popcorn. It says this side down.
Just look at the little arrow on the side. That's
Yeah,
the
that
flow of
helps.
the air. Make sure you look at that when you put
We
your
love
filters in.
having
Very
you
simple.
on, Jesse. Tell Paul not to come back.
Paul, don't
Oh,
go
he's
back.
coming back. He's coming back.